Hey, what's going on, guys? In today's video, we're going to go ahead and go over a mixed compilation of all the new features, hidden features from not just the latest iOS 13 stuff, but also some previous stuff for all the new iPhone owners that just picked up either an iPhone 11 Pro, iPhone 11, or even an older model like the iPhone 10. So if you just picked up one of these home button-less iPhones, these are all the important stuff and some hidden features, as well as some settings to change to get the most out of your device. Now, with all that said, let's go ahead and get started. Let's start off this video by quickly going into messages. In case you're coming from an Android, an iOS device, your messages are blue, and you can see if they're responding with the little dots, like very similar to what we're used to see on social media platforms. You could tell if you're texting a non-Apple device when the reply is green. The benefits of texting with iMessage is, for starters, you unlock some really unique features. Now, new this time for iOS 13, we got new emojis and stuff of our character that you could create. But besides that, there's a feature that's not really well covered. That is, whenever you hit the send button, if you actually hold down for a little bit, it takes you to this page. Here you can actually select different style animation you want the receiver to receive. So if you want this one, select that, and when you hit send, and when they get that text message and open their device on iMessage, it's going to show them this. You can also switch the screen tab to give it a different animation as well. This one will actually take the majority of the screen, and some of them actually will vibrate your phone. So if you want to make your happy birthday wishes feel more special, this is how you do so. Now back at the home screen, see what I did there? In case you're unfamiliar with the gesture controls, this is the quick rundown. If this is your first iPhone without a home button, to go home, simply just slide up like so, and it will take you back to the home screen. And swipe up again to go back to the main home screen. To go back to a previous app that you were just in, simply just do this, and you can also do this vice versa to go back to that app. And then activating your app switcher, simply just hold midway, and there you go. You can select whatever app you want to go back into. And then just in case if there's an application that just isn't responding, you want to force shut it or reset it, all you need to do is simply activate app switcher and just swipe up, and there you go. And now when you relaunch that application, it's going to automatically reload. Then in case you missed a certain notification, you want to bring down your notification tab, simply just go from the middle, from up top, do this, and there's all your notification right there. And if there's a certain notification category you want to clear, simply swipe from the right to the left, tap clear all, or you can hit this little X right here and it will clear the entire row of notifications. And now let's say there's a certain application you can't find because your library of applications is pretty big. You can actually do this to bring down like a spotlight search. By doing that, you can simply type in the application you're trying to find, and you can tap on it and launch it like this. Let's go back, or you can actually go to the widget page, and right above here there's a little search bar as well, which does the exact same thing. If you go down on this little widget page, you'll see this little edit button. Tap on this, and this allows you to rearrange everything. So if you want your battery to be on top, so you can see the battery life percentage of your headphones, or news, weather, even third-party applications, you can simply just tap on the little green plus, or hit the little red to remove them. But you can rearrange them by using the little hamburger lines. And just tap done, and that's basically the quick overview of widgets on iOS. Now, another crucial thing to also know about is the launch of Control Center. So Control Center, this allows you to toggle Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, enable airplane mode without even having to be required to go into your settings. So to go into your Control Center, go on the right top hand corner, it only works on the right side, and bring it down like so. And here are all those little controls for all those little settings. New for iOS 13, if you actually hold the Wi-Fi tab, for example, and hold on it again, you can actually select your Wi-Fi networks right there. Also, tap right here to actually go into the setting tab section in the application to manually adjust certain things. But let's just go back, and you could do the same thing with Bluetooth, as well as enable hotspot, AirDrop, disable your cellular data, and all that jazz right here. On music, this little arrow sheet right here, this little circle with the arrow. If you tap on this and you happen to have a Bluetooth device ready or nearby that you previously had pair, you can actually tap on it and quickly pair to that headset or speaker much quicker than having to go into the settings. Another thing here is the brightness. If you actually 3D press or haptic press, depending on the device you use, you just hold it right here and it'll give you these three modes. Here you can actually quickly toggle dark mode, as well as night shift and true tone. You can do the same thing with the volume rocker. If you happen to own a pair of Beats Studio, for example, you can actually enable the active noise cancellation. It's not noise cancellation, but I forgot the name to it, but it's similar to noise cancellation. And now if you're left wondering what are these lower tabs, because yours might be totally different since yours is new, you can actually customize and add some certain things. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that. So in order to do that, simply go into your settings, scroll down to where you see control center, customize controls, and right here you can actually add certain things you want to be on the control center. So for example, let's go ahead and put in the QR code reader. Now when that's on, if we bring down the control center, we see it right there. You can also readjust it however you like. So you can arrange it, move it alongside. You can also put dark mode in there, for example. So you could quickly toggle dark mode if you want to. And you could do all that stuff. So that's the quick overview of dark mode. Screen recording is also right here. You need to actually add this one. I don't think it's added by default. But that's how you do screen record in case you want to share a certain video with somebody. So very recently, a new beta update was actually added on iOS 13. It's beta 2, and a new feature that they innovated for that beta is that now whenever you launch your camera application, if you switch to video, you can simply tap up here and it will change the resolution as well as the FPS rate. You can change it right there. But as the time making this video, if you're on the public non-beta, just a regular standard iOS software version, you need to be aware of how to change the resolution setting. So in case you're watching this and this feature still isn't available on the latest OS, the way you do this and change the resolution is simply just go into your settings and go down to the camera tab, and right here is where you see the record video. That's where you could actually go in and change the resolution as well as the slow-mo speed rate. And you can also here change the format, so if you want to be more efficient for your device, that's how you do so. But over here, in case you're on an iPhone 11 Pro or even the 11, I believe they also have that. In here on the competition section right here, go ahead and enable the capture outside frame for both the photo and video if you like. What this allows you to do is actually utilize the many different camera views that we have back here. By that I mean, like, whenever you take a photo and you see this little square icon on top, if you actually tap edit and go where the crop section is, you could actually tap here and it also captured the other camera point of view angle. So if something is cropped off, instead of having to reshoot or retake that photo, you can actually hit this and you can actually get that other subject in the frame. So that's a quick overview on what it basically does, and it does the same thing with video. Now yes, it does use up more data, but within the past 30 days after you took the photo, it will automatically delete, so it will automatically clear up more storage space if you didn't needed it. Now back in the home page right here, you have shortcuts to not just the camera and the flashlight by simply haptic pressing or 3D pressing depending on your device. It will activate and toggle those things. You may also just quickly slide to the right to have faster access to your camera. Now since Face ID did its job in unlocking itself, we have access to all of our photos that we took in the past. You're asking a stranger to take a photo or something for you, but you don't want them to have entire access to your phone so they could quickly see your entire photo library. You just want them to have access to the previous photos they just recently took. There is a clever trick that you could perform to do this. So at the lock screen, if you press volume up, volume down, and hold down the power button, it'll take you to this shutdown screen. Simply tap cancel, cancel again, and now whenever you go to the camera application, no photo is shown. It will only grant you access to all the different photo modes you can switch to, and will only show you the previous photos that was recently taken. So when you get your device back, you simply just enter your PIN code, and now Face ID and everything is back to normal. Now other things to definitely get familiar is here at the home page, if you actually force touch or haptic touch, depending on your device, you'll have quick access to application shortcuts. Like on the camera app for instance, by doing this we have access to portrait, to immediately go record, And the list just goes on, and it's all different depending on the app you're using. Like in the settings, you have quick access to your battery, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth, the important stuff. And something to definitely be familiar with is when it comes to rearranging applications. Yeah, you can still hold and toggle all your applications to be able to get deleted or rearranged, but sometimes it's not always responsive, so it's best just to simply do this and then just tap on the rearrange applications. Since Force Touch isn't available on these latest iPhones anymore, I find doing it this way more efficient. And if you happen to have a lot of applications scattered around and you want to move them all at once instead of doing it one by one manually, you can actually, in this toggle mode, you can actually tap the applications you want to move, scroll to the page, and release, and there you go. You moved a boatload of applications all at once in a single page. Now for this final one, this is a new feature that was innovated for iOS 13, and if you're known to consistently get bombarded with a bunch of telemarketer, robocallers from unknown callers, I would really recommend enabling this, as this will free up the time and headaches. So if you go to your settings and click on the phone section, if you go down, enable silent unknown callers. Now what this will allow the phone to do is any unknown caller that you receive or it's not familiar, for example, like it's a number that's not public or listed on Yellow Pages or Yelp, it's gonna immediately get sent to voicemail. This way your phone is not consistently ringing. If somebody was to really get a hold of you, they will leave you a voicemail, and this is directly just gonna send them to voicemail. It's only gonna do this on numbers that you actually haven't received. So if you answer one of these incoming callers or you made an outgoing call with that number, if it's one of those numbers, it's immediately gonna ring your phone. But if it's a number that not listed in Yellow Pages or on Yelp as a number business, or a number that you never called, it's gonna immediately be sent to voicemail. So all in all, that's basically everything there is to know about these new iPhones. So if you're coming from, again, like an older device, or you made switch from Android to iOS, these are all the important things you really know to get the most out of your device. Everything else is pretty much already covered on the startup guide as soon as you launch new applications or you activate your iPhone for the first time. Now if you're looking for a guide for the Apple Watch, I also covered that as well. You could click on that video right there for the first 10 things to do on your new Apple Watch. And the video next to that is a video that YouTube is recommending specifically for you. They think you're gonna like it. Are you? I don't know. Go ahead and check it out and let me know in the comments if YouTube was right. But thank you guys so much for watching. Take care, and I'll catch you all in the next one.